Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the All About Favorite channel. I'm your host, Pastor KZ. My attire today, the Miami Dolphins. They won the game. Actually, they thrashed the Washington Commanders 45-15. Great win. Tua keeps on winning, y'all. Let's hear it for those Alabama grads. Okay, y'all, at the end of the video, please comment, like, and share. Those of you who may be watching me on other platforms such as Instagram or Facebook, please hop over to my YouTube channel and just hit the thumbs up button. Please don't forget, comment, like, and share. And if you'd like to email me, you may do so at walkinfavor61@yahoo.com. I got a new piece of eyewear that I'm trying out on you. This is a very, very popular frame. I'm not so sure I like it, but I don't know. You all say y'all like the big frames on me, so let's get with it. All right, Real Talk Week. Let's talk about this today. Some people just really don't like hearing the truth, or they don't want to accept the truth, and that's real talk. Now, let me talk a little bit about this. There are so many truths that are out there, and some of them, they're very hard to hear. It's hard to envision yourself dealing with something that may or may not hurt you, or may bring back a bad memory, but the truth is the truth. Whether we like it or not, or whether we're ready to accept it, there comes a time when you have to deal with some things. Let me give you a few of my opinions of some truths that's hard to hear. And again, my disclaimer is always, I'm not an expert or a guru, but I'm just going to throw out some opinions based on what you have stated in some of your emails. There's a hard truth to hear, and that is, you can't change some people. Some of you get hooked in these relationships and you think you can change them. You just can't change some people. That's a fact of life. You can't even change some situations that your children, even your adult children, are dealing with in their everyday life. Sometimes you got to step out of that and leave it alone, because the same way you found your path and you had to grow into something, your children gonna have to grow into it. You can't be there all the time to rescue them. Sometimes you got to let them figure it out on their own. And I know that's a truth that a lot of parents do not want to hear. Another truth is, life isn't always fair. You know, some people have this. You ever met people that everything they talk about, that's just not fair? Honey, life is not fair sometimes. Sometimes you can be a good person and bad things happen to good people. Sometimes you can give your all to something or to someone and you still get mistreated. That's how life is. Another truth is, just because, and this is a hard one to hear, just because someone is related to you by blood doesn't mean they're a good person. Okay, I look like my auntie just now. I have her facial expression. My auntie, I'm gonna shout you out today. Auntie Ali, I look like you the older I get. And that's just an expression she would give, and she looks just like my grandmother. But I'm shouting you out, Auntie, today, so I hope you are watching. Love you, sweetie. But sometimes people just in our family, sometimes they ain't good people, y'all. Sometimes we run into people who you haven't seen the whole year until you get to the family reunion, and they still messy and shady as ever. You love them, but you're like, you know what? That girl ain't changed in 30 years. Still the same. Look at Unc. He's still doing the same thing. Y'all, he 85 and he's still out here drinking. So certain truths is hard to hear, hard to accept, but it is a truth. Here's another one. I'm a good person. Why did they treat me like that? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. You either pick yourself up and move on, or you could stay right there stuck feeling sorry for yourself. But you know what? Nobody really want to hear your pity party. Girl, you're not the only person who been through something. Boy, you're not the only person who going through a season, a storm. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Sometimes people don't understand you. the changes that you may be making, or the transitions that you may be doing in your life, the transformations. But you know what? Be okay with that. But you have to understand, not everybody is going to agree with you, and that's okay. You can respectfully agree to disagree and still have love. You don't have to be angry and mean spirited. Sometimes, let me say this very importantly, this is the truth. Sometimes your gut feeling is dead on it. Trust your instinct more. I have a whole video on that. Sometimes when your gut feeling is telling you something is off or something is going on, you are probably right. Sometimes you get hurt along the way in life. If you keep having birthdays, at some point you will experience hurt. At some point you're going to experience disappointment. Sometimes you're going to experience brokenness. But the key is, find a way to get past things. Find a way to get yourself back up. Sometimes, unfortunately, I'll say this as well. Unfortunately, sometimes you spend too much time thinking about the past and living in the past, and thinking about the way things used to be. All that does for some of you is get you depressed, because you're looking at your life now and you like, man, I wish I could go back to that age. Truth of the matter is, you're not going to go back to how you was when you was 25. Okay? Accept the fact and age gracefully and move forward with your life. Let me be quite clear about something here. It's time you stop spending so much time looking back. That's why the rearview mirror is in the car. You don't look there the whole time you're driving down the road. It's up there for you to glance at, and you're going forward. Some of you spend too much time looking back and you're not going anywhere. No matter what you have been through or what you are experiencing, you have to keep moving. You have to, and sometimes I'm not saying moving fast is going to get you there. Sometimes it's baby steps. Sometimes I hear people say, well, I just try to do it one day at a time. Sometimes you can't do it one day at a time. Sometimes you're taking it in minute increments. Sometimes you're like, man, I made it through this hour. Let me try to get past it and go a little bit further. Something that is very critical that we don't want to hear and we don't want to address, but some of you are wasting too much time on things and on people that really, you got to ask yourself, is this worth my time? Some of you have unrealistic expectations, which I'm going to talk about, I think, tomorrow. And the one thing that you're missing in all of this, and this is a very valuable truth, is that you have worth. And some of you have allowed people who have underestimated your worth. You have allowed them in your life and in your circle too long. And it's time for you to cut the cords, cut ties, and walk away from some people. Because you know what? You are wasting your time there. I get a lot of emails, not only from women, but the majority of my viewership are male. And a lot of these men that talk about women and say things, the question I always go back to asking them in the emails is, if she's so horrible, why you still with her? You know, y'all want to bash these women, but you still there. And don't just say, I'm there for my kids, because your kids are grown now. So why are you still with this woman if she's so terrible? So that's a truth that a lot of people don't want to deal with. We have a lot of complaints about things, but when you're not doing anything about it to better the situation, why are you still there? Why are you still complaining about it if you haven't figured out a way to modify it to make yourself more happy? I don't know. It's time for you to stop pretending. A lot of us are walking around with masks on. We got this fake persona that is not real. And I don't know what you all think about this. I'm just throwing out some things for you to think about, but some things for you to modify. Don't go into the new year with some of this same stuff. It's time for you to speak the truth, but deal with the truth also. And some of you have some real truths that you just unwilling to address. You want to stuff it down, cover it up, and hide behind it, but it's not resolving anything. And the real talk is, it's time to just be honest. Keep it, as the young folks say, it's time to keep things 100, and understand that, you know what, right, wrong, or indifferent, it's your truth. And you've got to start living your truth. You don't have to pretend anymore with people. Be real. If you don't want to be a certain place, you ain't got to be there. If you don't want to attend a certain function, you don't have to give an excuse why you're not there. I'm just not going. Just not going. And that's okay. It's okay. As I keep telling y'all, your happiness is important. Your worth is important. You are worth so much. You are such a beautiful human being. God made you special, and He didn't make no junk. We all kind of make mistakes along the way, but we learn from them, pick ourselves up, and move on. Y'all, get yourself focused. Find your balance. And real talk, some truths is hard to hear and hard to accept, but until you start doing it, you're going to stay miserable and stay phony. Get real with yourself. Y'all have a wonderful day. Hey, it's hump day. I like to call it Reset Wednesday. Go ahead and reset things, recalibrate, and get yourself centered. And you know what? It's okay to just do you. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you back tomorrow.